Tomorrow, John Dingell will be laid to rest in Arlington National Cemetery.
But today in Washington, it was a final chance for some who knew Dingell to pay their respects and reflect publicly on his remarkable career in Congress.
Devin Scillian was there, and Devin, we know it's been a long week for the Dingell family, but it was clear they were moved by what they heard today.
There's no doubt about it. So many people who've been a part of the John Dingell story really felt that exact same way today, Jason. We just made our way back to the Capitol from Georgetown, where there was kind of an impromptu gathering of former John Dingell staff members, a bit of an Irish wake tonight. They've always felt very, very fortunate to have worked with John over the years, but after what they heard at today's funeral, they remain more convinced than ever that they were working for the right things and working for them in the right way. Thursday in Washington was a far cry from Tuesday in Detroit with its angry ice storm. Those 70 members of Congress who were turned away in 2 airplanes made their way on 3 buses. What has been an arduous, exhausting week for Debbie Dingell continued as she greeted the honor guard and the casket. One more step in the long but loving farewell. The overflow crowd meant a packed balcony and more than 100 standing shoulder to shoulder in the back. The congressional chaplain, Patrick Conroy, was yet another who was supposed to speak at the Dearborn service but was delayed until today. His homily reflected on John's focus on his faith, which he often found challenging.
He said, Father, at the end of all this, do you think God can forgive me? John, if God cannot forgive us, we are all doomed.
The church was not divided by political stripe. It was a single congregation united in its devotion to the dean. Consider the consummate Republican who named the committee room after the consummate Democrat.
And like many who served with him, they loved him. And that's not to say that my friend John was all honey and no vinegar.
For the Dingell family, it has been grueling and yet so affirming. John's son, the judge, Christopher Dingell, has been astonished.
It's been a lot overwhelming, even with really awful weather conditions. The actual funeral in Michigan was titanic. And my dad has a lot of friends, and a heck of a lot of them showed up.
And yet, as Debbie Dingell sent the flag-draped casket off for yet one more trip, it wasn't quite over. There is one more stop. Fittingly, the most American final stop of all, Arlington. I talked to Debbie Dingell a couple of times today, and she is almost obsessed with hoping that people back in Michigan understand how grateful she and the family have been for what they've seen over these couple of days. The outpouring at the Performing Arts Center, all of those people showing up at the funeral. In particular, she wanted to make sure that the Dearborn Fire and Police Departments understood how grateful they were for fighting all of that terrible ice storm the other day to help everybody get to and from the services. So I told her I would pass that on, consider it done. Of course, everything tomorrow moves toward Arlington Cemetery. From Washington, Devin Scillian, Local 4. Jason and Karen, back to you.
And Devin, she really, truly has been so remarkable in such a hard time, probably one of the most difficult times in her life. And I think it's fitting that she obviously has to send that thank you message to everyone here in Michigan. We appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, you bet.
We'll see you a little bit later. Jason.